Hello my dear Gemini, this is your love and spirituality reading for the time between May 16 and May 31st, 2018 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. I read for the signs in order of most liked video, so don't forget to hit the thumbs up button for your sign, so I read for you bright and early. I put astrological information for the month of May in a video of its own that you can check out in my playlist Q&A. You can also find it at my webpage www.queenofcupstarot.se. The reading can go both ways. The message is for the people who watch it, so if you cross-watch for another sign and recognize yourself as the one I describe in the reading, just trust your own intuition and you will get the message you need. For this reading, I use the Osho Zen Tarot by Deva Padma, and I will start shuffling your cards. So, my dear Gemini, I see maturity for you and step by step. So it seems very prosperous. It's like you are in some kind of phase where you are developing rather slowly, but it's walking forward. It's like taking the next step in a relationship, taking a career step, growing, maturing, spiritual growth as well. So it kind of advises you to savor the moment and really suck the use of what you're experiencing now, because it might be that you have happiness here knocking at your door. Okay, so I call the divine with love and light. And here we have guilt, 8 of swords with moment to moment, and both are in the reversed. So guilt in the reversed, 8 of swords, is like coming out of a prison of your own making. You know those moments when you have two voices in your head, one telling you that you want to reach your dream and the other voice telling you it's impossible because these problems is thorning up in front of you or making it like obstacles in your life. Moment to moment in reverse can be when we are very unbalanced, like emotionally. We might get caught up in our thoughts and then become unbalanced with our feelings. But with the guilt card here, 8 of swords in the reverse, it's like you're freeing yourself from this. You're no longer a victim of thinking, but actually you can start to see yourself when you're going on, letting your mind go rampage in your life. You can start to become aware of it, so you don't go that way. You just don't start to obsess about things, and you don't start to worry about things. You just, no, I won't. So it's like you've found a little bit of harmony here, and that's of course the beginning of happiness. So I called the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world. And here we have ordinariness, 8 of pentacles in the reverse with moment to moment. So it might be that you still have some difficulties when it comes to relationship, even if you have started to get some grip over your life and kind of cool down, not worry so much, taking things as they come, take one step at a time, 1 second at a time, minute at a time, hour at a time, day at a time. It seems like there's still some kind of imbalances in your relationship that might cause you sorrow. So for some of you, while going through this delicate process, you might need some time alone and take some space and take some time out, because you are going through a very delicate part of your process and you don't want to go and disturb it all now when it's beautiful like this. Okay, so I call the 6 elements, earth, wind, fire, water, spirit and ether, to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Gemini viewers. So I want my dear Gemini to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. Okay, so I will just tune in to your reading for a few seconds here. Okay, so my dear Gemini, this is your future there. and this is your now, and this is your past. And in your past here you have this maturity again, this new beginning in your life. It's like a new fragrance in your life. It's like there has come, something has opened. It's like a door has opened and let some beautiful sunlight in. So it feels very bright and shiny, but it comes of course with a price. You have done something, you have really changed, you have gone through a lot of obstacles, and you have really done a hard work. It has not come without suffering, but the suffering is it's kind of what's triggering us to find this door. So I'm thinking it's rather amazing, even if you have been through hell and back here. I see this. Okay, this is minor arcana death. 10 of swords is when you need to let go of your old ideas of things, or old survival skills, old way of doing things. Here you have been also very exhausted and hurt and traumatized. You have tried to solve it with your mind, and you have kind of projected your fears outwardly towards people in your surroundings. So if you are very fearful of, for example, being betrayed, you have probably been in relationship where you are being betrayed. And here we have suppression as well, and this is kind of holding back your natural impulses. So all these terrible things wouldn't happen, but they happened anyway because your natural impulses wasn't the problem. That you didn't love yourself was the problem. And now it's like you have got another chance to do things in a much more harmonious way. So that's the past. It's April, first part of May. Here you have the now, and here you have the source. So it's like your soul is stepping into, that's what's coming through the door. It's your true self. And here we have patience in the reverse, 2 possibilities. Laziness, it's a 9 of cups, and 2 friendliness. So I'm thinking you have lost patience with certain people or situation in your life that's kind of they haven't fulfilled your needs, and now you're saying no to these situations. So instead of trying to change you, or trying to make yourself kind of endure certain situation, it's like you have woken here, and you don't sell yourself off. It's like you even if you love people, you want to be with people, and you love maybe your family and friends and things like this, you are not going to twist yourself over backwards, or bend yourself over backwards, or put yourself in a knot to become loved. So that's when your true self is actually stepping up and showing its face. So now you don't have to suppress yourself anymore. You can be your true self. So that's a good thing. So another ace, if you noticed. So you're really onto something, like a new beginning. And here we have courage as well. So this journey, it's only you that can keep yourself on this track, because you choose how you feel inside. You also choose the situations you're in. You choose your friends, you choose your loved ones. You can't choose the family you are born into. That's very hard. You might not be able to choose who you fall in love with, but you can choose how to act in these situations. So it's time to become a grown-up and do something about this new opportunity that you have gotten, to make some peace in your life. And also, instead of being a victim and feeling like the world is out to get you, you now feel much more strong, and that you take more responsibility for yourself. So that's a good thing. So even if you don't feel the support of others, you are actually very supported by the divine, and also by yourself. It's like different parts, different aspect of yourself is coming together and strengthening your soul. And here we have also ripeness. It's the card for becoming very mature and self-loving, becoming like rock solid. You don't let other people dictate if you are worthy or not, if you are worthy of love or not. You decide that you are worthy of love. And it's also experiencing here. So 3 of Wands, it's like it's a little bit of an adventure. Here we have fighting. It's actually Gemini. It's not so very flattering in this card, and conditioning. So this is what has been going on before, that you, oh, if I do this, people will think like this. If I say this, this will happen. And oh God, I showed this person these feelings. Now they must think this of me. This is the old. Like how you let the world conditioning you, or how you let your fear conditioning you. But now all of that seems to be gone. It's like you have the courage to love yourself no matter what. So it's very beautiful, my dear Gemini. Okay, so this is your past, and here we have transformation. It's death in the reverse. So it seems like something die hard. Okay, it's something that doesn't want to go away. It's something that's sticky to you. It's very hard to sacrifice this situation, or it comes up again. It's like zombie apocalypse in your life, things reappearing, the same kind of patterns, different, same shit, different name, kind of. So might be, for example, what I said, if we can't choose who we fall in love with, so it might be you have fallen in love with someone that you don't want to be in love with, but you can't stop. So that's what I'm seeing there. And here we have totality. So that might be a problem to get along with certain people, even if you have the attraction towards them. With the 5, it's like it's connected to the Alchemist card number 14. Also, it's a lot of attraction, but in the same time, it's like you're attracted to your counterpart, like your other half. So if you're very white, it will be like the darkness to your light. So it will be difficult. So very pure good girls, for example, they want bad boys because that is what they are missing in their art, like in their soul. They are not missing it in their soul, but it's they have kind of stuck that part of their soul in the basement with the devil. So it might be therefore you have a hard time to let go of people and situation that doesn't really make you happy, because you need the power from these situations. For example, if you are with a person that's very selfish, probably you are supposed to learn to become a little bit more selfish, so it becomes balance. So you're not like codependent or victimizing yourself. It can be a different things, and like if you are with a person that constantly attacking you, maybe you are supposed to learn to defend yourself. It can be different things. So why you're attracted to difficult situation, difficult people, have its explanation. Okay, and here we have new vision, and it's in the reverse. So that's actually a good thing, because it's like you getting out of prison again. It's like you have been stuck in a situation because you didn't want to sacrifice something, like this thing that died so hard. You didn't want to sacrifice it, but here you're kind of ready to sacrifice it, maybe because you're tired of battling. So, and in the moment when you kind of stop defending yourself and you say, well, you see, that's fine. Okay, so I understand that you don't have so much in common with me, for example, and I will stop trying to get us to be together. That can be the sacrifice, like just letting go of things, just stopping to try to hold on or to fix things. Let the broken things be broken. And that might be when you learn to become more selfish and to stand up for yourself and to, you know, defend yourself, what you were supposed to learn. So it's a good thing, but it's painful, of course. You have avoided this for so long, so of course it's painful. It wasn't something that you dreamt of when you were a little boy or a little girl. It's something that it's like the opposite of what you dreamt of, but anyway, you needed to do it because to free your energy, because the situation or your dream, or how you, like the separation between what was and what you wanted, the gap between was what kept you in prison, because you wanted the dream to be true, and you couldn't really accept the reality. But when you accept the reality and sacrifice whatever doesn't work, even if it was your dream, you're freeing yourself. Here we have the Master, and it's in the reverse together with Death. So it's still something that you have a hard time letting go of, or I'm thinking rather, I'm saying letting go of since you have the Death above, but I'm thinking rather it has to do with your soul, that you can't accept the glory of your soul. You can't accept, we are taught to say, well, if someone says that, oh God, what a nice dress, oh, this all rag, or if someone says, that's a beautiful painting, have you made it? Yes, but it's a copy of something I saw once in the newspaper, so it's not my original idea. So it's like some kind of, like, you can't accept yourself, and maybe that's why people see this as a weak spot with you. And when we have a weak spot, it's like we have a wound, and when we have a wound, people want to point that out to us, and how they can do it is by kind of hurting us there over and over again until we realize that, oh God, I'm hurt here. So if you see yourself, you don't respect yourself enough, you don't see your own glory, it might be that people are trying to put you down, okay? They are saying things, doing things that's putting you down, and it's just because you are putting yourself down. So stop putting yourself down, and the outside will change as well. So I'm thinking you're very close to inviting your beautiful soul fully here. It seems very prosperous, but it's still this. Here you have the Control. It's King of Swords in reverse, so it's probably your inner judge, like your logic mind. Your logic mind is preventing you from letting your soul in, because it doesn't believe in fairy tales. It maybe doesn't even believe in you having a soul, okay? So it's very high and dry, and this might be the entity that constantly judging you, making you jump higher, try even harder. It's like you can never be enough, or you can never be good enough, you can never be okay. So it's some part of you that's a little bit afraid and wants to be in control. And how to be in control is kind of being like the one that warns you for the wolf all the time. If you do that, this will happen. If you do that, this will happen. If you say that, this will happen. So you go on constantly scared that you will do a mistake or make something wrong. And to do a mistake or make something wrong is perfectly all right, as long as we learn something from it. And yeah, it's actually why we're here. You can't imagine a person, like, for example, inventing, say, the phone without having tried many different things that failed before they were actually successful. So success is built on failure. This is how we learn. We are not actually living in a fairy tale. We actually need to learn from trial and error. So we are here to experience, but this little bit control freak inside of you doesn't want to have those experiences. They like certain experience, but not other ones. So they like when they are winning and actually inventing the phone, but they don't like the occasion that led up to that, like all the mistakes that led you up to inventing the phone. So if you are crappy in choosing love partner, for example, you don't like this about you, you judge yourself for it, instead of seeing that it's a learning curve. You know, the thing we saw in the beginning, 1, 2, you can't run before you have learned to crawl. It's just to accept where you are at. So it's a reality check. You are not more or you're not less. You are what you are. You don't have to compare yourself to others or even to yourself. You don't have to have a standard to live up to. You just have to be you. And here we have completion, and it's in the reversed, and it comes underneath the Hangman, 12, and this is 21. So both have a 2 and a 1 in it, and 2 are choices, and 1 is kind of your soul, your I, and 1 plus 2 is 3. So it's the Empress, it's creation. So it's something that you are about to create, but it's like you don't trust yourself, so therefore you can't create it. It's like a breath, like holding your breath, and your breath here is actually your soul that wants to come through. So it's like you're preventing yourself from from being your true self, or breathing, like just taking those deep breaths in and out, because you're so scared. It's and you don't have to be scared, because you have immense powers working at your favor. This is 21, and this is the card that's unique for this Osho Centauro. It's the card that comes after. So you have both completion and the master, but due to you wanting to be in control and having things in a certain way, or comparing yourself to some kind of rules or regulations or some kind of ideal, it's like you're missing the target because of this. Instead of just accepting what is, you always see that, no, it wasn't perfect this time either. You don't have to be perfect. You can be perfectly flawed as long as you are your soul, as long as you are your natural self. Love yourself, respect yourself, be yourself. You really need to get out of control, like do a mistake, a big fat mistake, and feel the feelings that come afterwards. It might feel like you will be suffocated, but it's actually just your inner judge here that can't believe their eyes that you actually didn't listen to them, so they're losing control. So it might be this what needs to be sacrificed: control over something. Like, you can't control how much a person loved you. You can't control the outcome of different situation. You can do your best, but you don't have to be best. Okay, you just need to be you. Here we have the future, and we have the creator in reversed. That's usually a Leo, can be Sagittarius or an Aries as well, but in this case it might also be a Scorpio because of the transformation card. But I'm thinking your soul really wants to come through here, and it might be some stale between you and a fire sign person as well. We have air, fire, and the Hangman in the reversed, so it might have been like maybe you wanted to break up from each other, and your different soul doesn't want this, actually wants you to do something that's not this. Probably the breakup is kind of your old way of doing things. Well, if it doesn't work for me, I just split and run. But you are not supposed to split and run. You're supposed to solve this, like invent the phone. So maybe some of you needs to invent the phone, like start communicating with each other. Okay, and here we have letting go, so it comes underneath totality and control and letting go. So I'm thinking letting go of control. It doesn't always have to be in like the way that you have scheduled or dreamed it to be. Maybe let life surprise you, even if it's a negative surprise. Accept things more as they are, instead of trying to dictate what needs to be for you to be happy. As I said in the beginning, you choose when you are happy. Not the outside circumstances that determines that. That's what's determined that is how much you have learned to get to know yourself, and also mastered yourself, like tempered yourself, get to know your own energies and be able to set different frequencies. I can put my frequencies on happy or sad. It depends on what we wants to accomplish. If we want to retrieve our soul, we might need to feel the sadness so we can heal ourselves. If we want to meditate, we want to put ourselves in another frequency so we can take in more light. So it's a choice, and it's not something on the outside that's going to give you these different things. It's you. It's your reaction to things that determine if you're happy or if you're sad. And here it seems like you're setting some rule for yourself. I can't be happy if this person doesn't do that, or if I don't win this, or if I not accomplish this, or if this person doesn't start to love me, or it can be many different things. And it's just a big challenge that has come for you to learn to do things in a different way. So if you can feel, like even naturally you can feel that I won't be happy until this person loves me and show it. And that might be truth on one level. but you can't control what another person does. So you can wait your rest of your life and never be happy just because one person didn't say the magical words, and that's plain insane. So it's what I advise you to do in this situation is to try to be happy anyway. Okay, that's becoming a master when you can rise above and find the little things in every day that makes you happy anyway. So you're not a victim anymore to circumstances. You're becoming a master of your own life, and you don't have to control like outcomes, people, situations. You can be free. Whatever happens is fine. You don't have to worry because you can take whatever comes. So I'm thinking the letting go card here is about letting go of control and also letting go of the high like demands you have on yourself and also of others. So it's like I feel I can breathe here. It's like more moisture in the air. So nice. Okay, and here we have the guilt card, of course. So 8-8. Some of you might be dealing with the Leo because we have 8-8. So 8 is strength card. It's Leo, but it's also the Lion's Gate that we are going through. You have courage here also. So I'm thinking it has to do with the north node of the moon. We have Leo there. So it's about like loving the one person that you already are and respecting that entity, and like let go of all other stupid demands. Just start to love yourself through and through. That will make you grow up and will make you very courageous, very resilient. It will make you be tolerant towards whatever situation you are faced with. So it seems like most of you Gemini will choose like the old way. You won't take this new chance and like invite spring in your life. You will hold on to old grudges and not being able to say I'm sorry or forgive me or I understand, but actually holding on to control and trying to be very like you demand things of someone. Someone needs to do this if you are supposed to do that. So it's like it's a little bit mafia here. It's a power game, and if you don't do what I say or what I want, I will stop loving you. So some of you have this demand on people on the outside, and it can be okay. If they have done things you are very tired of, you have taken yourself out of, you sacrificed this thing, but it's still like when you were in this relationship, you could have sacrificed your need of control as well. That would have worked as well, instead of sacrificing the person or the situation. If you would have let go of control and kind of accepted whatever was, and let go of like people needs to act in different ways, or respect you. You can respect yourself. They don't have to love you. You can love yourself. They don't have to make you happy. You can make yourself happy. So that would have worked too. And so you have this in front of you that you still need to learn to let go of control of a situation. Not just step out of a situation because you can't control it, but actually letting go of control while you're still in the situation. Okay, so I will read this control card for you because it's the center card of the reading, so it will be very prominent energy, and it's in the reversed here, but I will put it in the upright position so you will have some bearing. There is a time and a place for control, but if we put it in charge of our lives, we end up totally rigid. The figure is encased in the angles of pyramid shapes that surrounds him. Light glitters and glints of the shiny surfaces, but does not penetrate. It's as if he is almost mummified inside this structure he's built up around himself. His fists are clenched, and his stare is blank, almost blind. The lower part of his body, beneath the table, is a knife point, a cutting edge that divides and separates. His world is ordered and perfect, but it's not alive. He cannot allow any spontaneity or vulnerability to enter. The image of the King of Clouds remains us to take a deep breath, loosen our neckties, and take it easy. If mistakes happen, it's okay. If things get a little out of hand, it's probably just what the doctor have ordered. There is much, much more to life than being on top of things. Controlled people are always nervous because deep down, turmoil is still hidden. If you are uncontrolled, flowing alive, then you are not nervous. There is no question of being nervous. Whatsoever happens, happens. You have no expectations for the future. You are not performing. Why should you be nervous? To control that mind, one has to remain so cold and frozen that no life energy is allowed to move into your limbs, into your body. If energy is allowed to move, those repression will surface. That's why people have learned how to be cold, how to touch others and yet not touch them, how to see people and yet not see them. People live with cliches like, hello, how are you? Nobody cares, nobody means anything. These are just to avoid the real encounter of two people. People don't look each other in the eyes, they don't hold hands, they don't try to feel each other's energy, they don't allow each other to pour. Very afraid somehow, just managing cold and dead in a straitjacket. So this is what the divine wants you to take yourself out of. So it's just become aware of when you are when you have very high expectations of things and need like certain situations to become happy, or just see them, start to get aware of them and see if you can choose another frequency, if you can set your radio on another channel, because you have happiness like it wants to come through here, but it can't when you have these high demands. Okay, so I will take a card from the Wild Kuan Yin here for you. The Sacred Falcon shows the way. So that's very Falcon. It feels very Gemini. It's air, of course. 17. So, my wisdom is embodied in nature. I speak to you through the language of the natural world. You will understand my guidance for you as you trust in your own observations of nature. Look for my signs. My language is symbolic, humorous, clear, and loving. I talk to you every day, my divine wild child. Within you are the wild instinct and loving intuitions that can recognize my signs, the presence of my guiding hand. I am speaking to you. Look, listen, and believe. Most of us would love to hear our spiritual guidance more clearly. To do so, we must be willing to trust our hearts when we feel moved, even if our logical mind has doubts. Your heart just knows when you have received a sign from the Divine Mother. It could be the most ordinary occurrence, a simple remark made by another, a song on the radio, the sudden appearance of an animal, or perhaps your sign is more dramatic, an accident that seems like a warning, or a synchronicity too vivid, inspiring, or compelling to ignore. What shows the sign to be a communication from the divine rather than any other mundane happening is the feeling that accompanies it. It captures your attention and you sense there is meaning for you, even if you are not sure immediately what the meaning could be. There are signs happening for you now, and the divine is guiding you on your path. You are not alone, and you are being asked to trust the signs. Trust your feelings. Don't let your mind talk you out of what your heart knows to be true. It is safe to trust in these loving signs. So, if we don't feel our feelings, obviously we won't be able to hear these signs either. So, if you feel very afraid of your feelings, it can be a very good time now to start taking them out of the the magician's hat one by one, like rabbits, and pet them and check them out and get to know them, because I'm thinking the divine really wants to connect with you. Your instinct and intuition are healing and growing stronger, perhaps after a time of shutting them down with fear, shame, or excessive reliance on logic. You are learning how to trust yourself again, more unconditionally. It is safe for this to happen now. It will help you live a better, happier life. You are in a healing process of rewilding, discovering who you really are, undoing years of conditioning and suppression to awaken your real self again. This is exciting, but you may feel sad, angry, tired, or have sudden surges of energy at times too. let whatever happens. You are coming to life again, and anything you experience is part of the healing and rebirthing process. Be kind, get rest, express yourself, and don't let anything or anyone stop you from this sacred healing process of reclaiming and loving your real self. If you have been sensing something and wondering if your intuition is correct, there is an encouragement here to trust your feelings. You are seeing the signs for what is to come. What you need to know, you will sense intensively, and it will be later confirmed. Okay. So it seems like you are in the threshold between like an old worried mind self and a new, more relaxed, at ease soul self. So don't be too hard on yourself in this process. Just be the watcher. Watch your feelings, watch your thoughts, watch your reactions. Be the support of yourself. Hold yourself like around the back. Support yourself in difficult situations. Don't question yourself so much. If you want something, you want something, so trust it. But it's, of course, it's a little bit contradicting, because you can't get always what you want, but you can, what you can give to yourself, you can give to you, okay? Whatever comfort you need, whatever pampering you need, but don't expect it from other people so much, because this is a time when you grow up and like stop wearing diapers with a 1 and 2 of coins and starting to grow up, starting to mature. So you need to kind of go this phase a little bit alone, even if you have someone here shoulder to shoulder, probably someone that can connect with you, with your soul in some way. But I feel it's like you have grudges with this person, or you don't see eye to eye. But the most difficult person in your life hold like a sign for you, like this is the way to go. So it doesn't mean that they are right. It just means that something with them is mirroring something in you that kind of needs to be awakened, like this mommy here. Okay. Thank you so much for watching, and it was a very straightforward simple reading, so I think it's enough for now. You can focus on these things, what I've told you, and I'm thinking there's something, it's like I'm feeling it's like this time when it can, it's like when the waves are crushing against the shore. It's like this moment when it, and then phew, so it's like this moment just before, and then something will be released. So no, not too much fuss in your life right now. Try to be very in tune with yourself and pamper yourself a great deal, and let whatever comes. Accept your perfect imperfections. Okay, so take good care, and I welcome you back to my June reading that I will perform in mid-May. Okay, so bye-bye.